Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the Topping NX1as. Now these are a portable headphone amplifier from Vela, and they go for around $60 on Amazon.ca or around $40 on Amazon.com. Now these are an upgrade to the NX1s that pretty much just gives them 50% more battery life. I'll talk about the battery life later, but first let's take a look at the actual unboxing experience. Now I've actually opened these up and listened to them on a variety of different headphones and sources, but I just put them back in so you can see what the unboxing experience is like. So it's got a really simple packaging, very plasticky, but don't expect much for this price. You have the user manual that looks like it's half Chinese, it's got Korean, I don't know. It's got a lot of different languages in there. You don't really need to care about that. Now what these are little velcro circles that you can stick onto the back of these and also onto the back of your phone, or anchor it to your table, whatever it is you want to do. Those are included and you get a ton of them. These are little rubber rings that you can use to strap the actual device onto your phone if you'd like. And you have a really short 3.5mm cable. Now I like that it's short because if you have this stacked right on top of your device, the cable won't stick out that much. It'll just go in like that. So really nice that it's a short cable. And finally you get a little micro USB cable for charging the actual device. I'll just pop these babies out and you can take a look at the build quality. For $37, I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it is. So as you can see, it's matte black, it's really small. It's about the width, I'd say, of an iPhone 4. So it's actually a lot smaller than I thought it would be. Incredibly small. Really portable. It's decently light and it's made out of just all metal. It's just completely solid, super solid design. It just feels really high quality. I don't know what else to say about it. I will say though that if you shake it around a bit, you can feel something jiggling in there. I think it's the battery because it's just one solid piece that's moving. Not a really big issue, but I'd still like to point that out either way. Now let's take a look at the I/O here. Let me focus that. So you have the power switch, and it has a little LED to show you that it's on. As you can see there, it's blue. You have the headphone out, the audio input, and a really nice grippy, you can see there it's got the ridges, really smooth feeling volume adjustment knob. It starts at as you can see there, it starts around 7 o'clock and goes all the way up till about 5. And switching around to the back, you will see a high-low gain switch and a charge port. Again, it's micro USB and it has a little LED indicator, which is nice. So let's talk about sound. If you have a really hard to drive set of headphones like these are planar, you'll want something like this. Or if you just don't, if you want more volume out of the headphones you've got. So these pretty much will just boost sound. That's what an amplifier is. You probably already know that if you're watching this video. But the thing about these is that they're very, very neutral. So they don't actually change the sound that's coming out of your source. They have an impedance of 16, or they can drive headphones that are from 16 to 300 ohms, which is very impressive. And I'll just go over the different sources, or the different headphones that I have here. These are my Hi-Fi-Men HE400Is. These are planar. You can see there the driver is not your usual circular dynamic driver. So these are a hell of a lot harder to drive than something like my ATH-M50s, for example, which are just your usual driver. And I have an extra pair of in-ears there, also from Vela. I'll talk about those in a separate video that you should watch. But for the Hi-Fi-Mens, I get around 80% volume at high gain. What I mean by that, that's a bit confusing, but what I mean by that is I like to listen to them, so I pretty much just tune these all to the same listening level, the volume that I like. This hits that volume at 80% on high gain, so it almost maxes this thing out, whereas these can be run at 50% on low gain, and these can go at 35% on low gain. So it varies a lot. I've read some reviews from other reviewers, and they say that you can have something up to headphones such as the Fostex T50RP that are notoriously hard to drive. So these have plenty of power, and the thing about the sound is that it's very neutral. It doesn't change the sound, like I said before. Unless you have something like these, which are harder to drive, then you might actually see a pretty big improvement over something like your cell phone. Not just in terms of volume, but actually in terms of quality. But if you've got a normal low impedance headphone with high sensitivity, such as the ATH-M50s, or in-ears like the Grand Vela A8s over there, these will have plenty of power, and I'd even consider it kind of dangerous to use on high gain, because if you accidentally just turn that knob too much, you'll get your eardrums blown out. So plenty of power here. Shouldn't be worried unless you have just the most hardest to drive headphones in the world. But if you have those, you probably will want to pay more than $40 for an amplifier anyways. Next thing about it's got a super low noise floor. What that means is that when you have these on and you don't have anything playing, you won't hear any hissing or background like static noise, unless you're using something that's super sensitive at a very low volume. So for example, on the in-ears over there, if I have them on high gain at a very low volume, you will hear just a static hissing sound. However, if you put it on low gain, that problem disappears completely. And considering that you're going to be using it on low gain anyways, not really a problem. I use these, or these two. I can't hear that hissing sound whatsoever because I'm listening to it a bit louder. So it really only occurs at the very lowest volume when it's on high gain. But if you're on high gain, you're probably not using the lowest volume anyways. So that's not really a problem. One thing that I did find though is that it had a slight bit of interference or static, so it'd have a little bit of just weird hissing or popping sounds occasionally when I have it stacked on top of my phone. Maybe it's because of the cellular signal interfering with something, but when I have it hooked up to my computer through my other source, or just a bit further away from my phone, that's not a problem whatsoever. It really only occurs once in a while when I'm using it with my phone. I wouldn't consider it really a problem, but I'd like to mention it anyways. So that's about it for sound. Now the thing that impresses me the most about these is the battery life. So these actually last up to 150 hours. Now I've been using these non-stop for about a week, and they still haven't run out, obviously, because I haven't used them for 150 hours in a week. But that's just crazy for something like this, especially considering how small and how inexpensive it is. 150 hours, more than I could have asked for. Pretty much you won't need to charge these very often whatsoever. And if you're using these at your desk, you can actually charge them. Just keep them permanently plugged into your computer, and you won't have to worry about the battery whatsoever. So, but again, you're supposed to be using this for portable use anyways. But 150 hours, super awesome. So in conclusion, these are affordable, extremely portable. They're super well built with that aluminum, I'm assuming, aluminum casing, and they sound very, very flat. So they don't change the sound at all. They just make it a hell of a lot louder. So that's about it for these headphones. That's about it for this amplifier. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them down in the comment section below. I'll try my best to answer them. And if you like this video, leave a like. If you want to see more, check out my channel. If you like the videos, please do subscribe. And that's about it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.